teacher practice we're going to talk about is engaging activities. A lot of these are aligning to the standards of mathematical practice 3, constructing viable arguments. So we want to show you a couple ideas that we've created and how those might look in your classroom. This first one is a strategy called Try It, Talk It, Color It, Check It. And I developed this with a teacher who really wanted to think of ways to increase engagement as well as kind of collaboration between her students. And so this strategy, it actually was published in Edutopia, and we were able to share how it boosted student engagement, how it built relationship skills, and how it also developed and deepened students' metacognitive thinking. So we're going to show you a quick video about it. And as you're watching, just think about how it relates to SEL ideas.
Here, could you explain to me why you said it equal to 90?
In the bottom, you can see that has the square right there, showing that it's a right angle.
Great job. I love that you noticed that, because
one of the challenges in virtual learning was student voice. It took a whole new level of courage for a student to speak up and a whole new level of practice for a teacher to engage students virtually. Try It, Talk It, Color It, Check It is a strategy a teacher and I developed that increases student engagement, persistence, and collaboration. We realized that we needed to adapt it to work in a virtual environment.
Okay, guys, we're going to work on one problem at a time. We're going to start with problem number 1. I'm going to give you 2 minutes.
For the first step, Try It, students are working on the problem independently. This step is really important for students to develop any questions they may have about the problem at hand. After the Try It phase, we put students in breakout rooms for the Talk It step. In this virtual learning environment, we needed a way to have students be able to discuss math when they weren't used to talking in this virtual setting. So we included conversation prompts to get to know each other.
I have 3 cats and a hamster.
After that, they were able to dive into the math together. One student took on a role of speaker and one person took on a role of scribe to record the group's conversation and process of how they solved the problem.
I did 11x minus 12 plus 2x.
In the Color It step, students used the sticky note on Jamboard. If students were super confident, they chose a green color. If they were a little unsure about their answer, they chose yellow. And if they were completely unsure, they chose the pink. This step was a quick snapshot for us to be able to assess student learning. After about 5 minutes, we brought students back to the main room where we did the Check It phase.
So I heard some great conversations happening.
We would call on one group to explain their strategy and their process. In this step, we were able to see their confidence level as they were explaining to the other students.
142 plus 38 gave me 180, verifying that I got it right.
I love that y'all took that extra step to check your work at the end. Now we're going to move on to problem number 2.
Because we use this strategy, we didn't just hear the answer from students, we heard their process. We heard students having rich mathematical discussions together about how they solved it and why they solved it in a certain way. So again, this strategy was something that we kind of revised into when we were in a virtual learning environment. We do also have the original strategy, which we did.
Could you explain to me why you said it?
Which we did in person. And Rachel in just a second is going to kind of click through the pictures so I can explain the process to you. But I think it's really powerful to think of, there are some explicit moments to help students think about how this strategy as a whole is tied to SEL. And so each stage kind of has a different piece of SEL. So as you're thinking through the different stages, kind of think to yourself, how does it bring out the SEL within the classroom. So this first image that you'll see, that's just the overview that we had on the board. And it goes through, we go give students 2 minutes to try it on their own. So that's the try it phase. I think this piece is really important to make sure that we're giving students time to process and time to either build their confidence in the problem at hand, or to really know, okay, what questions do I have about this problem that I'm trying? The next stage is the talk it stage. Again, in person, now you can actually have students come together and talk about their problem. They've already worked through at least all of it or most of it. Once they do find a common answer and what they feel is their solution, they're going to color it. So they're going to color code their answer based on their confidence. And I think this was a cool stage to hear students really debating how confident they were and what questions they might have if they are at a yellow or a red stage. The last part was check it. And this really took the ownership off of the teacher. It allowed the teacher to see what the students got, and then the students were able to share their explanation with the class. So that's the last stage of the try it, talk it, color it, check it.
So what we would like you to do is take 1 minute to think about how this strategy that you just saw of talk it, try it, color it, check it, how does that support social emotional learning in your classroom? You can go ahead and write down some thoughts that you have. We'll give you a few moments to do so.